is May 7th, 2025, 10:30 Eastern. About to get the screen shared here. Bookmap, there you go. Bookmap is now live. Welcome. Welcome. Getting the YouTube link here loaded as well. We should be good. All right, good to go. Good to go. So we have let me come along here. 1 second. There's Bookmap as well. Still doing the gray thing though on Bookmap on YouTube. Don't know why. So we have the day of FOMC. A couple hours here, we'll find out the rate cut decision, or rates decision, which will, in my opinion, be a pause. And we'll probably have a little bit of volatility at the rate decision, not much, and then when J. Powell comes out and yaps, that's when the real volatility will begin to unfold. So. And we'll play that. Right now on Bookmap, if we take a look on liquidity, we have 5630, 5665, 5700 is the main liquidity levels. Right now they're eating into this upper resistance and supply of 60 and 70. It's beautiful stuff. A little bit more red here on ES, dropping 5 or 6 points. It comes out, the data is posted at 2 p.m. Eastern, and he comes out at 2:30 Eastern. 30 minutes after. I don't expect all that much movement right here until FOMC. Boom, right here. Right now we are dealing with the upper supply in our hourly range, which we just now set. Most likely when the market does trend, which we are trending higher here just very, very slowly, is that they undo that trend right before FOMC. So don't get too crazy on longing as we get closer to 2 o'clock Eastern time, which obviously is still a ways away. $56.51. No major icebergs to speak of, no major stops to speak of. We have a little bit of liquidity right here in the 5660 area. They took off this cat up here. So again, monitoring the skew, monitoring any kind of outlier activity. Today we do have a big level at 5770 going into the FOMC event. That could be an FOMC level after he posts. 120 points up. But right now the market is dead flat, not moving at all. Back and forth, wiki. Don't recommend any trades here for the S&P at least. Very tight. $56.54 here. Very tight. RTY. Let's go over to the S&P. NASDAQ. Bottom wicking still kind of doing their thing here. ES. We do have a little bit of a trend line approaching on the S&P, which will put us roughly 56.70, which will be that top. Who is ringing my doorbell? Oh, man. Crazy stuff. Which will put us right here on the 56.60, 56.65, 56.70. We are dead flat. Dead flat. What's up, Zoelis? How you doing? How you doing? Still top wicking back here again. What I would do is if this thing wants to grind and do this all stuff, just play the counter move into FOMC, which is usually happens. So as you approach 2 o'clock Eastern, they'll undo this little trend back over to flatten out the book. What's up, OP? How you doing? Do you give your SR levels for free? If so, where at? I don't give them for free. I do. I give a lot of content away for free, but that stuff I hold for the Discord members. All right, a little bit of red coming off here. This is not to be a trading signal or anything, just an observation. I saw someone break down this chart, and it includes a combination of what they consider to be a holistic market and how it looks double topping with a downtrend forming. Just interesting thought I would share. It does look like that. So, I mean, we are seeing an aggressive amount of top wicking into the supply. Not to mention, the volume too. So it's interesting. It's interesting. BPA, yeah. Does tier 1 give an SR? It does, yes. Yes, it does. Man, this is some tight price action here. One of the reasons I can't wait to live on a farm is that every day someone either knocks on my door or rings the doorbell. It's aggravating. The 15-minute candle is having a lot of sellers. It does, yeah. Longer time frame, footprint. I love it. Look at that 1.9K. I love it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Give me the volume profile shelf on this baby. Look at that 1 minute chart. Even the 1 minute's terrible. It's awful. It's awful. You have a no solicitation sign and they still knock. Yeah. What's my take on India and Pakistan? I don't want to sound insensitive. No comment. $56.50. Would you say Apple is right on NSR flip? Let's go take a look at Apple. That's a great idea. Let's go take a look. All right, SR flip on Apple. They just had one in pre-market, right at that 201.78, although they didn't get a technical touch. To me, on Apple here, this is a quadruple test of this support, which is more like absorption. So Apple appears to want to kind of transact a little bit lower. If they do, 190 is going to be my target there. So Apple, if in understanding what's been Apple's been doing the last 8 months goes into this decision too. Apple has been the underperformer across everything the past 8 months. So even when the market was raging in the fall, last spring, Apple was underperforming to a large degree. So Apple is still doing that. And if they take out that 198 little support, I would play down to 190. But I don't see a true SR flip here, at least not in the longer time frame. All right. Some guy tried selling me the meat out of the back of his van yesterday. Nice. What kind of meat? All right, so look at this cat up here, 5680. So could this be an FOMC thing? I like to watch skew. And then right now, the book, it's lifting. Rising tides lift all ships. And right now, the ships are heading a little bit higher. So we're grinding into resistance here. Typically, FOMC loves to print green, especially when the unknown becomes known and it's as expected. At least the first candle likes to be green. So I could see a 5700 touch today. Likely. How do I use GEX? GEX is a magnet of sorts. Layman's term, quick definition, it's a magnet. Although it's not really. That would be a quick definition to explain to a layman that that's how I would apply the GEX. But really, it's the definition of it is gamma exposure. It's an acronym for gamma exposure. So I want to monitor where the overall positioning and exposure is in the market to determine what their hedging parameters is in conjunction with that. So if I have a GEX that's lower, very much lower, and very heavy, then I could foresee the market making an attack at those levels. That's how I like to apply it. But the thing with option chain positioning is I need to see a heavy skew in the option chain just like I do in the order book. I need to see a very large amount of positioning because large positioning is going to demand the hedging of the underlying position, which creates movement. Hedging creates liquidity and movement. What time is FOMC speaker? The speaker comes out at 2:30. Random question, do you have a tractor for using on your land? Not yet, but it'll be one of my first purchases when we actually move in. Very difficult to manage 50 plus acres when you don't have a tractor. Do I use ICT? Negative. Negative. Although I will say ICT is just repackaging. Imagine you take a delicious Hershey's bar that's been around for 100 years, a chocolate Hershey's bar that everyone knows is Hershey, but you just repackage it and calling it, fancy chocolate instead of Hershey. That's all he's done is taken something that everyone already knows, order flow, and called it auction theory. Red candles, all the way back over. Beautiful absorption, or I'm sorry, rejection, and coming off. ICT uses us. I love it. I love it. Rolling back over. Aggressive candles. Nice. They're undoing a little bit of red already. Muy interesante. Sorry, I got some ice. I didn't realize I had ice. My apologies. I don't see anything about this. I think this is just undoing the trend. Just a little bit earlier than I thought. A little bit earlier than I thought. Yeah, push more ranking to do it. Yeah. Does that make sense, John? Bottom wick. Where do we bottom wick? You might ask. Right off the POC. Smack dab in the center of the range. So you see all the bottom wicks that happened at 10 o'clock, at 10:05, at 10:15, at 10:20. So we're dealing with that, which is only a micro pivot. But look what they did. They pulled all liquidity. So something changed the book here. They had 56.75, 56.80. They had 56.60, 50, 70, all that stuff. And they pulled the book, and now we're aggressively selling. So something happened to make them clear the book like this. We don't know. Does it really matter? No, it doesn't. You could know for curiosity. Still going red, 56.41, all the way down. It's time for China to graduate from developing country status. Interesting. Nice, McGurky. I love it, buddy. I could totally see OM fighting ICT one day. I feel the rage building. No. All right, still going red, 56.40. We broke through prior pivots, lower lows. So qualified down into 56.31. All the way back over. All the way back over. How's Hero? Let me go take a look. I got to hit refresh. Right now, the book is pulling down to 5630, which is also the day's lows. NASDAQ is getting wrecked. We're down about 100 points on NASDAQ already. ES is down as well. So nice little qualified move. They took out the prior lows. That's where the trend breaks, 5630 on the top wicks. They pulled all upward liquidity, so this is a qualified move on here as well, with the book skewed down to 30. Expanding candles, lower lows, trend forming nicely. They didn't sell any calls, but they did pile into some puts. And still coming off. 5630 is now likely. Got a lot of lines. I was doing some examples earlier today. Nice. Coming off still. Still coming off. Big red candles. Man, what is going on? Beautiful. Red action. All right, low right here, testing. Wait for the sweep. 19842. Let's see how they deal with this prior pivot from overnight levels. They're holding it. Beautiful, beautiful trend. Five, 6, 8, 4. Another red candle. 5-minute algorithm immediately plunges. We have a bottom wick green. Right here. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Days locked in. Nice McGurky. Top wick back over. If they fail this, we're going to go for imbalance of overnight lows. Globex lows. There you go. Option killer algos. Am I going to be on for them speaking? Yes, I am, Woot Loot. Yes, I am. So this is what I was looking for into the FOMC. It happened a little early to undo the trend because the FOMC, that's how they run the book. They undo any action to bring the order book back to flat into FOMC. They just did it a little early. And they took all the liquidity off, skewed it down, 56.10. What's up, Steven? How you doing? Good morning. Still going down, 56.21 on the 5-minute. It's a market-wide drop. It's time for China to graduate. I'm not trying to visit, blah, blah, blah. I don't see anything crazy that would cause this kind of movement, though. I don't see anything crazy. Yeah, this FOMC day, down, down. Yeah. So 1 hour chart here, breaking lower. We already took out the prior lows. We are in a qualified downtrend. We are below the morning low, which is a bearish sentiment. When you put in a range and have a late break below, it's a bearish sentiment. So next target's going to be settlement open low, which is what, 5608 on the S&P. And then what they'll do is they'll post FOMC, we'll put on a rocket green candle, and then top wick it back over. Google threat intelligence identifies new malware. Interesting. There's that bottom wick right into the 18959, and they're retesting it. Retesting prior support, new resistance. What are they going to do with it? I can't believe I left 1 minute and a perfect trade happens and all drowns down. That's all right. What are we going to do, baby? What are we going to do? Coming back over. That's a retest. Perfect retest of 19858 on NASDAQ and 5632.33 on ES. And rolling back over. So still going down, looking for settlement open low on this move. We have skew lower. We have put buying. We have the retest, the support resistance test, which y'all know is my favorite setup. And we're down, going down to settlement low. Love it, big guys. You got it. You got it. Google threat intelligence. Interesting. President, oh man. Hold on, where'd that go? Another red rollover. 19812, 5625 ES, both going down. Love it. Love it. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Aggressive sell into FOMC. Now, the bigger this move is, the more volatile the FOMC event will be. So, there you go. The bigger the reaction candle will be. Still going down 5626. Still skewed to 5620. Look, now they're even putting 5600, which would be good. 5600 correlates with settlement low. There we go, 56.24. Still going, 23, 24. Give us 800. That's beautiful. Now, what do you see on the lower time frames? There's not a single high or higher taken back out, so your trailing stop should just keep you in the position. And down we go. It's also worth noting we had a trend line touch at the rejection top. Moving stop to see if it grabs 800. Give it a chance to grab settlement low. This is an aggressive move, and we have liquidity skew down here too. I'd like to see some good big icebergs to kind of increase confidence, but this is nice. Google down 4.5%. Yeah, Google's getting wrecked. 56.23. High volume sells too. Yep. A lot of high volume dumping. Interesting. I don't see anything other than the Google. I guess that's it. Yeah, Google's absolutely getting wrecked. Google's down 5%. Just getting wrecked. I just think somebody took puts on Google right before that happened too. I bet you. Someone just became a millionaire. Somebody probably just took calls too. Nice AR. Well done, buddy. Well done. Set your stops on these names, ES and NASDAQ, beyond liquidity, and hold on to it. Just got on audio over. Negative, negative, negative. I want to know how I need to pay for that info. Yeah, tell me about it. I just need 3 of those and I can retire forever. Heck, 1 of them. Apple's exploring additional AI searching into its browser. Nice. So you see here on the 5, you get the 15. We have small bottom wick, and then of course a hammer candle into this area, 56.22. That's okay. Let's see if we can get the sentiment low. Sentiment low, hammer candle would be fantastic. Would be fantastic. You funded, you're funded. Beautiful. We have liquidity pulled down to 20, and then 0, 0. If they fail this and do go to sentiment, that's what you'll be looking for the bottom wick. They're not gonna bring it too far on FOMC day. Nasdaq sentiment already hit. They did, yeah, they did. Now, ES hasn't, and they're still failing. Is Apple AI really bad? I saw that someone identified some malware or something. I don't know. Let me go take a look. What's the news here? Yeah, I'm seeing mixed stuff. It's about the Apple AI and it's the malware identification at the same time, so I don't really know what to expect. Whatever. Obviously, it's a big reaction, and it'll be bottom wicked eventually. But yeah. Nice, Gaz. Well done, buddy. Bottom wick back up. If this fails lower, yeah, we'll have a 5600 touch, which right now I'm not seeing a lot of confidence. Top wick, bottom wick, roll back over. Spicy action. Yep. I will say the footprint is getting more balanced, so buyers are hitting down here, which is to be expected. I like it. Oh, man. Like the footprint too. Yeah, footprint's a great choice, man. I like it. Anything that brings in volume and order flow, 100% on board. If supposedly this fails lower, would you want to let Nasdaq run till ES reaches 1800 low? Yeah. So if this fails lower, because Nasdaq has already hit their imbalance, I would watch ES exclusively on this move to see if there's any opportunity to extrapolate here. Remember, in 2 hours, not even hour 45 minutes, we have FOMC, and all this is going to do is increase the volatility we have. Still going. Here we go. If this breaks, 5,600, 23 points. I just watched some dude put a Wagyu steak in front of a pot of chocolate, bake in the oven, and then pan-sear it. What? Get out of here with that. Ooh, new low. New low. New low. 5,600, locking it in. Do it. Do it. Wow. 56.21, 56.10, and then 5600 if they do that. So getting spicy here, people. Getting spicy. Getting spicy. What a move. Yeah, 100% what a move. 100% what a move. 56.22. See if we can get there. That'd be beautiful. And then bottom wick off of it. That's the beautiful thing. If we get to 5,600 and we bottom wick off of it, ample opportunity. Ample opportunity. We have nice skew at 10. We have nice skew at 100. We still have rolling price action. I love it. I love it. Nice, Twizzy. $56.23, bouncing back up. Very weak, but bouncing. Top wicking. What can they do? Let's see. It is 11:15. We're coming up closer and closer to FOMC. Let's see if they can actually get in balance low. That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. Give us a great opportunity. They've got that skew. They are taking off the 56.10 here. Down to 5,600. All I know is, being this busy this week, look at the 4-hour chart. More than recently, it's so much more peaceful. 100% it is. 100% it is. 5-minute multiple topics on the overnight support resistance. Yeah. Top wick back over. Here it comes. Here it comes. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. Another iceberg, 56.20. Now comes the shenanigans. They've got a little liquidity candle there to kind of get everyone in. They are buying an aggressive amount of calls, but they're also buying an aggressive amount of puts. So we have a heavy flow on options on both sides of the tape, which is kind of typical going into FOMC. That's not abnormal. I want a NASDAQ candle close low below pre-market low, but I might get stopped out here on this candle. Yeah. They're still top wicking it, but they are making it difficult. For sure. Apple has no intention of making its own general search engine. Huh. Oh, that was fun while it lasted. Let's see what we can do here. See what else we can do. Get me a decent pivot. Not touching anything until we touch the overnight pivot. If it bounces back up, then no trade. For me. Just bought some more Google for the long-term port. Been only using the weekly, monthly, and pivot points. That's beautiful. Beautiful. That's how you do it. Still coming down 56.26. Not a lot of movement yet. After the initial move, top wick back over. Seeing if we can grab 5,600. Done for the day with a trade more than double the daily goal. Love it, McGurky. Shut it down, baby. Shut it down. I guess that was undoing the book that we talked about. going into FOMC. We have 7 minutes left in the stream. Great representation of managing liquidity. Thinking about doing a straddle here. Not terrible. Not terrible. FOMC can be one of those things, man. It could either pay straddles very well or it could smoke it. So I can't necessarily recommend it, but it is a bit of a gamble. Do you think a zero straddle would be better over a longer term? If I did recommend a straddle, I would do at least a 1 DTE. If you're doing that style of trade to gamble off of the move, I would do a 1 DTE. It gives you time for them to do the shenanigan move. What's up with the SPY price at 10.15? Telegraph the move. Didn't see that on a yes. Wasn't tracking it. $56.25. Horrible action on NVIDIA. Yeah. I'm surprised to see them absorbing this right below this area. Usually I would see this at a support, but it's still making its way down. I'm going to triangle just to see if I can get a modest gain on IV increase. There you go. Still adding more liquidity lower here. We're just absorbing. Like I said, we've been here for 5 days. I think we move lower today. We have been, yep. So the longer term scale, we're right in this area. All right. So hard, long holding trades. The fear is here. Yep. Set the stops. Take your hands off. Whatever happens, happens. All right, y'all. That is the end of the stream. We had a nice little rollover and then continued the same price action. So we had chop, 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 chop. 10 minutes of great selling, and then back to the chop, 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 chop. The bigger the move, the more volatile reaction of the FOMC, and that is coming here in about an hour and a half. So we'll be back on for that stream. Come join us. Until then, I'll see you next Wednesday for the next Bookmap stream. Hope you had some fun watching the skew down to 5,600. And until then, I'm out. See you.